Hasatan, the serpent, wants to take the authority that Yah has given to you and use it for his own purposes. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Episode 3 of the Torah portion, Bereshit, found in the book of Bereshit or Genesis. And today we're in chapter number 3. Now this is a very invigorating reading, but we'll use a part found here in verse 1 and following. And the Nachash, that is the serpent, was more crafty than all the lives of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, "Is it true that Elohim has said, 'Do not eat of the tree of the garden'?" And the woman said to the Nachash, "We are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the tree of the fruit which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, 'Do not eat it, nor touch it, lest you die.' And the Nachash, the serpent, said to the woman, 'You shall certainly not die. For Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be like Elohim, knowing good and evil.'" The serpentine doctrine. You are to be like Elohim. You should be the master of your own destiny. You can reach for the stars and take hold of them. Anything you can imagine, you can do. You can do it. Go for it. Just do it. Sound familiar? A lot of the advertising slogans, it seems like that they come right out of the garden. The question might be asked, where did the serpent come from? Was he created along with all of the other beasts of the field? Was he just an animal that may have had verbal capability and could communicate with mankind? Indeed, it could be argued that until sin took place in the garden, that Adam not only was familiar with the animals, but that he conversed with the animals. It's kind of a Dr. Dolittle thing here. That might have been the case. We're not actually told, but certainly this being, however it is, has the ability to communicate, at least it did, with Chava or Eve. But where did he come from? The serpent. We find part of the answer over in the book of Ezekiel, Yehezqel, chapter 28. And let's read three verses here, beginning with verse 14. "You were the anointed cherub that covered, and I placed you, and you were on the set-apart mountain of Elohim. You walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created until," what does he say? "Unrighteousness was found in you." We'll talk more about that in a second. "By the greatness of your trade, you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. So I thrust you from the mountain of Elohim, and I destroyed you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire." Now, there's a lot of information here that we can break down, and for the sake of time, we'll try to make this quick. A cherub. There are various classes of beings that Yah has created to fill the spiritual realm. We have those that are messenger beings. We see someone like the angel or the messenger that came and spoke to Daniel, Gabriel. He also showed up and delivered a message to Miriam, the mother of Yeshua. And so we understand then that there are those who have a message. Now, this messenger being told Daniel that he was in conflict with the prince of Persia, which would be a territorial principality over Persia, where Daniel was, and that he had to fight to get the message into Daniel. And he said, and when I leave here, I've got to contend with the spirit or the messenger being or the territorial principality of Greece. So we understand then that there are certain ones that have certain powers over nations. There are the seraphim, the seraphim are seen in Yeshayahu or Isaiah, chapter number 6, and they're crying out, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh to Yahweh on a continual basis. And then we have the cherubim, or a cherub. A cherub is not a cherub, as we have had depicted to us, which is a fat baby naked angel playing a harp or shooting a bow and arrow. I don't know who came up with that idea. But a cherub is seen in Ezekiel, Yehezqel, chapter number 1, and there are 4 of these. They have the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, and the face of an eagle. 4 faces, one facing in each direction. And they have 4 wings, and they have calf feet, and they move together as a single unit, forming the very throne of Yah. He is enthroned upon them. So a cherub, at one time, the cherubim included a cherub, we believe to be Lucifer, Hasatan, and he trafficked under the throne of Yah through the coals of fire that were there. He moved up and down these living stones of fire, praising and worshiping the Most High until unrighteousness was found in him. It says here in verse 17 that his heart was lifted up because of his loveliness, and you corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. He became about himself. So it says by his trade, rechulah, or merchandise, or his trafficking. Genesis Hebrew Chaldee lexicon calls it trafficking. The root of that word, a resh, a kaf, and a lamed, shows that head opens and allows authority. So this cherub, Lucifer, we believe, was walking in the fiery stones, offering worship, declaring Yah's worth, but he used his place of authority, this treading of the coals, to become filled with, it says here, violence, Hamas, violent oppression. So his closeness to Yah, his insight, his proximity to the Most High that he had, he believed offered him the opportunity to stand violently against someone else. There is then the serpentine doctrine that says, don't challenge me because I'm a prophet. Don't challenge me, I'm an apostle. I'm the anointed of Yah. Don't challenge me because I'm so vitally connected to him. I can abuse you. I can tread on you. I can resist you. I can manipulate and control you, but don't you dare touch me because of how close I am to the Most High. How subtle that serpentine doctrine is and how many people have fallen prey to it. Yah never allows you or I to use our anointing, our calling, our positioning, our assignments to be abusive to people, correcting, reproving, even rebuking at times. Yes, if it's correction about following the word. But we're not allowed to be a manipulator, a controller, or an abuser of people. So it was then through this that he says, I cast you out. Now, quickly here, let's also understand that when Yah brings judgment upon the serpent for his deception of mankind, Yah says that on your belly you are to go and eat dust all the days of your life. It just so happens that mankind is made out of dust. Don't be a meal for the serpent. Don't live according to your flesh and according to your dust nature, and therefore be consumed by him. Another thought, it's the serpent who crawls. You stop crawling. That's not our walk. That's not our manner of transportation in the earth. Don't crawl. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, shalom.